Money laundering. According to blockchain data company Chainalysis, criminals laundered $8.6 billion worth of cryptocurrency in 2021, up by 30% from the previous year. The data suggests that rather than managing numerous illicit havens, cybercriminals make use of a small group of purpose-built centralized exchanges for sending and receiving illicit cryptocurrency. In 2021, those exchanges received 47% of funds sent by crime-linked addresses. Almost $2.2 billion worth of cryptocurrencies was embezzled from DeFi protocols in 2021, which represents 72% of all cryptocurrency theft in 2021. According to Bloomberg and the New York Times, Federation Tower, a two-skyscraper complex in the heart of Moscow City, is home to many cryptocurrency businesses under suspicion of facilitating extensive money laundering, including accepting illicit cryptocurrency funds obtained through scams, darknet markets, and ransomware. Notable businesses include Garantex, Exchange, Cashbank, BuyBitcoin, TetChange, Bitslato, and Suex, which was sanctioned by the US. In 2021, Bitslato founder and owner Anatoly Lagodimov was arrested following money laundering charges by the United States Department of Justice. Dark money has also been flowing into Russia through a dark web marketplace called Hydra, which is powered by cryptocurrency, and enjoyed more than $1 billion in sales in 2020, according to Chainalysis. The platform demands that sellers liquidate cryptocurrency only through certain regional exchanges, which has made it difficult for investigators to trace the money. Almost 74% of ransomware revenue in 2021, over $400 million worth of cryptocurrency, went to software strains likely affiliated with Russia, where oversight is notoriously limited. However, Russians are also leaders in the benign adoption of cryptocurrencies, as the ruble is unreliable, and President Putin favors the idea of overcoming the excessive domination of the limited number of reserve currencies. In 2022, RunBridge, an unregulated alternative to exchanges for transferring value between blockchains, was found to be responsible for the laundering of at least $540 million since 2020. It is especially popular with people attempting to launder money from theft. This includes a cyber attack on Japanese crypto exchange Liquid that has been linked to North Korea. Darknet markets. Properties of cryptocurrencies gave them popularity in applications such as a safe haven in banking crises and means of payment, which also led to the cryptocurrency use in controversial settings in the form of online black markets, such as Silk Road. The original Silk Road was shut down in October 2013, and there have been two more versions in use since then. In the year following the initial shutdown of Silk Road, the number of prominent dark markets increased from 4 to 12, while the amount of drug listings increased from 18,000 to 32,000. Darknet markets present challenges in regard to legality. Cryptocurrency used in dark markets are not clearly or legally classified in almost all parts of the world. In the US, bitcoins are labeled as virtual assets. This type of ambiguous classification puts pressure on law enforcement agencies around the world to adapt to the shifting drug trade of dark markets. Wash trades. Various studies have found that crypto trading is rife with wash trading. Wash trading is a process, illegal in some jurisdictions, involving buyers and sellers being the same person or group, and may be used to manipulate the price of a cryptocurrency or inflate volume artificially. Exchanges with higher volumes can demand higher premiums from token issuers. A study from 2019 concluded that up to 80% of trades on unregulated cryptocurrency exchanges could be wash trades. A 2019 report by Bitwise Asset Management claimed that 95% of all Bitcoin trading volume reported on major website CoinMarketCap had been artificially generated, and of 81 exchanges studied, only 10 provided legitimate volume figures. As a tool to evade sanctions.
In 2022, cryptocurrencies attracted attention when Western nations imposed severe economic sanctions on Russia in the aftermath of its invasion of Ukraine in February. However, American sources warned in March that some crypto transactions could potentially be used to evade economic sanctions against Russia and Belarus. In April 2022, the computer programmer Virgil Griffith received a 5-year prison sentence in the US for attending a Pyongyang cryptocurrency conference, where he gave a presentation on blockchains which might be used for sanctions evasion. Impacts and analysis. The Bank for International Settlements summarized several criticisms of cryptocurrencies in Chapter 5 of their 2018 annual report. The criticisms include the lack of stability in their price, the high energy consumption, high and variable transactions costs, the poor security and fraud at cryptocurrency exchanges, vulnerability to debasement from forking, and the influence of miners. Speculation, fraud, and adoption. Cryptocurrencies have been compared to Ponzi schemes, pyramid schemes, and economic bubbles, such as housing market bubbles. Howard Marks of Oaktree Capital Management stated in 2017 that digital currencies were nothing but an unfounded fad, or perhaps even a pyramid scheme, based on a willingness to ascribe value to something that has little or none beyond what people will pay for it, and compared them to the Tulip Mania, 1637, South Sea Bubble, 1720, and dot-com bubble, 1999, which all experienced profound price booms and busts. Regulators in several countries have warned against cryptocurrency, and some have taken measures to dissuade users. However, research in 2021 by the UK's financial regulator suggests such warnings either went unheard or were ignored. Fewer than 1 in 10 potential cryptocurrency buyers were aware of consumer warnings on the FCA website, and 12% of crypto users were not aware that their holdings were not protected by statutory compensation. Of 1,000 respondents between the ages of 18 and 40, almost 70% falsely assumed cryptocurrencies were regulated. 75% of younger crypto investors claimed to be driven by competition with friends and family. 58% said that social media enticed them to make high-risk investments. The FCA recommends making use of its warning list, which flags unauthorized financial firms. Many banks do not offer virtual currency services themselves and can refuse to do business with virtual currency companies. In 2014, Gareth Murphy, a senior banking officer, suggested that the widespread adoption of cryptocurrencies may lead to too much money being obfuscated, blinding economists who would use such information to better steer the economy. While traditional financial products have strong consumer protections in place, there is no intermediary with the power to limit consumer losses if bitcoins are lost or stolen. One of the features cryptocurrency lacks in comparison to credit cards, for example, is consumer protection against fraud, such as chargebacks. The French regulator Autorite des Marchés Financiers, AMF, lists 16 websites of companies that solicit investment in cryptocurrency without being authorized to do so in France. An October 2021 paper by the National Bureau of Economic Research found that Bitcoin suffers from systemic risk as the top 10,000 addresses control about 1/3 of all Bitcoin in circulation. It is even worse for Bitcoin miners, with 0.01% controlling 50% of the capacity. According to researcher Flipside Crypto, less than 2% of anonymous accounts control 95% of all available Bitcoin supply. This is considered risky as a great deal of the market is in the hands of a few entities. A paper by John Griffin, a finance professor at the University of Texas, and Amin Shams, a graduate student, found that in 2017 the price of Bitcoin had been substantially inflated using another cryptocurrency, Tether. Roger Lowenstein, author of Bank of America, The Epic Struggle to Create the Federal Reserve, says in a New York Times story that FTX will face over $8 billion in claims. Non-fungible tokens. Non-fungible tokens, NFTs, are digital assets that represent art, collectibles, gaming, etc. Like crypto, their data is stored on the blockchain. NFTs are bought and traded using cryptocurrency. The Ethereum blockchain was the first place where NFTs were implemented, but now many other blockchains have created their own versions of NFTs. The popularity of NFTs has increased since 2021. Banks. As the first big Wall Street bank to embrace cryptocurrencies, Morgan Stanley announced on March 17, 2021 that they will be offering access to Bitcoin funds for their wealthy clients through 3 funds which enable Bitcoin ownership for investors with an aggressive risk tolerance. BNY Mellon on February 11 2021 announced that it would begin offering cryptocurrency services to its clients. On April 20, 2021, Venmo added support to its platform to enable customers to buy, hold, and sell cryptocurrencies. In October 2021, financial services company MasterCard announced it is working with digital asset manager Bakkt on a platform that would allow any bank or merchant on the MasterCard network to offer cryptocurrency services. Environmental impact. Mining for proof-of-work cryptocurrencies requires enormous amounts of electricity and consequently comes with a large carbon footprint due to causing greenhouse gas emissions. Proof-of-work blockchains such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Monero were estimated to have added between 3 million and 15 million tons of carbon dioxide, CO2, to the atmosphere in the period from January 1, 2016 to June 30, 2017. By November 2018, Bitcoin was estimated to have an annual energy consumption of 45.8 TWh, generating 22.0 to 22.9 million tons of CO2, rivaling nations like Jordan and Sri Lanka. By the end of 2021, Bitcoin was estimated to produce 65.4 million tons of CO2, as much as Greece, and consumed between 91 and 177 terawatt-hours annually. Critics have also identified a large electronic waste problem in disposing of mining rigs. Mining hardware is improving at a fast rate, quickly resulting in older generations of hardware. Bitcoin is the least energy-efficient cryptocurrency, using 707.6 kilowatt-hours of electricity per transaction. Before June 2021, China was the primary location for Bitcoin mining. However, due to concerns over power usage and other factors, China forced out Bitcoin operations, at least temporarily. As a result, the United States promptly emerged as the top global leader in the industry. An example of a gross amount of electronic waste associated with Bitcoin mining operations in the USA is a facility that located in Dalton, Georgia, which is consuming nearly the same amount of electricity as the combined power usage of 97,000 households in its vicinity. Another example is that Riot Platforms operates a Bitcoin mining facility in Rockdale, Texas, which consumes approximately as much electricity as the nearby 300,000 households. This makes it the most energy-intensive Bitcoin mining operation in the United States. The world's second-largest cryptocurrency, Ethereum, uses 62.56 kilowatt-hours of electricity per transaction. XRP is the world's most energy-efficient cryptocurrency, using 0.0079 kilowatt-hours of electricity per transaction. Although the biggest POW blockchains consume energy on the scale of medium-sized countries, the annual power demand from proof-of-stake (POS) blockchains is on a scale equivalent to a housing estate. The Times identified 6 environmentally friendly cryptocurrencies: Shia, IOTA, Cardano, Nano, Solarcoin, and BitGreen. Academics and researchers have used various methods for estimating the energy use and energy efficiency of blockchains. A study of the 6 largest proof-of-stake networks in May 2021 concluded Cardano has the lowest electricity use per node. Polkadot has the lowest electricity use overall, and Solana has the lowest electricity use per transaction. In terms of annual consumption, kilowatt-hour/year, the figures were Polkadot, 70,237, Tezos, 113,249, Avalanche, 489,311, Algorand, 512,671, Cardano, 598,755, and Solana, 1,967,930. This equates to Polkadot consuming 7 times the electricity of an average US home, Cardano 57 homes, and Solana 200 times as much. The research concluded that POS networks consume 0.001% the electricity of the Bitcoin network. University College London researchers reached a similar conclusion. Variable renewable energy power stations could invest in Bitcoin mining to reduce curtailment, hedge electricity price risk, stabilize the grid, increase the profitability of renewable energy power stations, and therefore accelerate transition to sustainable energy. Technological limitations. There are also purely technical elements to consider. For example, technological advancement in cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin result in high upfront costs to miners in the form of specialized hardware and software. Cryptocurrency transactions are normally irreversible after a number of blocks confirm the transaction.
Additionally, cryptocurrency private keys can be permanently lost from local storage due to malware, data loss, or the destruction of the physical media. This precludes the cryptocurrency from being spent, resulting in its effective removal from the markets.
Academic studies. In September 2015, the establishment of the peer-reviewed academic journal Ledger, ISSN 2379-5980, was announced. It covers studies of cryptocurrencies and related technologies and is published by the University of Pittsburgh. The journal encourages authors to digitally sign a file hash of submitted papers, which will then be timestamped into the Bitcoin blockchain. Authors are also asked to include a personal Bitcoin address in the first page of their papers. Aid agencies. A number of aid agencies have started accepting donations in cryptocurrencies, including UNICEF. Christopher Fabian, principal advisor at UNICEF Innovation, said the Children's Fund would uphold donor protocols, meaning that people making donations online would have to pass checks before they were allowed to deposit funds. However, in 2021, there was a backlash against donations in Bitcoin because of the environmental emissions it caused. Some agencies stopped accepting Bitcoin and others turned to greener cryptocurrencies. The U.S. arm of Greenpeace stopped accepting Bitcoin donations after 7 years. It said, as the amount of energy needed to run Bitcoin became clearer, this policy became no longer tenable. In 2022, the Ukrainian government raised over $10 million worth of aid through cryptocurrency following the 2022 Russian invasion of Ukraine. Criticism. Bitcoin has been characterized as a speculative bubble by 8 winners of the Nobel Memorial Prize in Economic Sciences: Paul Krugman, Robert J. Shiller, Joseph Stiglitz, Richard Thaler, James Heckman, Thomas Sargent, Angus Deaton, and Oliver Hart, and by central bank officials including Alan Greenspan, Augustin Carstens, Vitor Constancio, and Nout Wellink. The investors Warren Buffett and George Soros have respectively characterized it as a mirage and a bubble, while the business executives Jack Ma and J.P. Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon have called it a bubble and a fraud, respectively, although Jamie Dimon later said he regretted dubbing Bitcoin a fraud. BlackRock CEO Lawrence D. Fink called Bitcoin an index of money laundering. In June 2022, Bill Gates said that cryptocurrencies are 100% based on greater fool theory. Legal scholars criticize the lack of regulation, which hinders conflict resolution when crypto assets are at the center of a legal dispute, for example a divorce or an inheritance. In Switzerland, jurists generally deny that cryptocurrencies are objects that fall under property law, as cryptocurrencies do not belong to any class of legally defined objects, Typenzwang, the legal numerus clausus. Therefore, it is debated whether anybody could even be sued for embezzlement of cryptocurrency if she had access to someone's wallet. However, in the law of obligations and contract law, any kind of object would be legally valid, but the object would have to be tied to an identified counterparty. However, as the more popular cryptocurrencies can be freely and quickly exchanged into legal tender, they are financial assets and have to be taxed and accounted for as such. Crypto-related suicides. In 2018, an increase in crypto-related suicides was noticed after the cryptocurrency market crashed in August. The situation was particularly critical in Korea as crypto traders were on suicide watch. A cryptocurrency forum on Reddit even started providing suicide prevention support to affected investors.